Welcome everybody back to another Boldcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Naruto Shippuden episode 48. What happened last time?
Last time, they finally reached Orochimaru's hideout, and they tunneled under and then through the rock and are inside. Also, it was revealed that Sai had been given a list of all the Anbu members who are loyal to Tsunade and working for her to give to Kabuto to make a bingo book, and also probably some ninja info cards on them so that they would know who to kill, I suppose. Yeah, and then Sai got left alone by Kabuto in his room, who also Kabuto was just like strolling around and then realized he forgot his one job that he had to do.
If I don't pick up my game, then Orochimaru will think people with blood type A make better servants or subordinates.
Whatever that means. And then at the very end, someone is at Sai's door while he is doing something he doesn't want anyone to see with his secret book of crossed out pictures.
Gonna see what that's all about and more, hopefully, in this episode of Naruto Shippuden. I've been neglecting to say this. I've seen Naruto. I kept forgetting to say that. I've seen it. Lindsay hasn't. So Lindsay doesn't know what is gonna happen. But I haven't. I dropped on my previous rewatch, so I've watched through the whole series. But we're already caught up to like where I stopped watching when I watched it for the second time. So, I'm excited to see what'll happen as well. There's a lot of things I forget. Very interested. Hope you guys are as well. Hope you enjoy the reaction and review. Hope you leave a like and subscribe. You can also get a week ahead on Patreon and get a bunch of uncut reactions for this show and many others on patreon.com/boldcast. And we hope you support the official release. Come here to hear what we have to say, our reaction, our review, not just to rewatch the show. We're not providing you with a free alternative to watching on Crunchyroll or Netflix. Let's go! Naruto Shippuden episode 49.
That last one was 47.
48. This is 48. Okay, 48. Let's go. Kabuto, then Sai. Oh, then the door.
Yeah, it's definitely the team. Yeah.
I had a hunch we'd find you here.
Kick his ass!
I'd expect no less from the Hokage's Anbu Black Ops.
Pretty dope
I
jutsu.
think that fake corpse didn't fool you then. Start talking. What's going on here?
You are my brain. I think maybe I'll say that in a second.
Spill it, jerk! Why would you betray your own teammates?
If I were you, I'd take care not to make too much commotion.
I'm gonna kick your
Look in his little folder.
Take this. If yours isn't it?
This is yours?
You were under orders from Danzo, isn't that right? We know Danzo and Orochimaru have teamed up, and we know that they're planning something big. So spit it out. What are they planning?
Lower your voice, Sakura. You're still in an enemy stronghold.
Orochimaru is easy to read. He wants to try and destroy the Leaf Village again. Isn't that right?
Well, spit it out already. He asks you a question.
No, that's not.
Look, why don't you wipe that phony grin off your face? I can already tell that every word you're saying is a dirty pack of lies!
It's really picking up the pace.
What's going on here?
The truth of the matter is, you people have discovered my location. My mission is a complete failure. Even if we fought, I couldn't possibly beat all of you by myself. I know that. And I think you know that as well. So there's no point in hiding anything.
It took you that long to come up with that to say.
You are correct. The plan was to crush the Hidden Leaf Village.
You were what?
My true assignment was to form an alliance with Orochimaru and to orchestrate a conspiracy with him so that together we could destroy the village. other half of my mission was to gather intel on Orochimaru. In short, to report his activities back to Lord Danzo.
Own up to everything you've been hiding.
You found Orochimaru and made sure you earned his confidence so you could defeat him later?
We fully expected Orochimaru would try to betray us. But this way, we make sure we always have the advantage over him.
I understand.
So it's Danzo. He wants to take over the Hidden Leaf Village. But hold on, you were sent in alone to set all this in motion?
The intelligence I write down in ink can transform itself into little creatures. They can defend themselves while traveling back to the Leaf Village.
Interesting.
You understand what you're doing? Didn't you stop and ask yourself why?
No. I follow orders.
Oh, Sai, how could you?
Oh, and one other thing. Sai is just a made-up name I was given for this mission. I'm nobody. I'm merely a tool for Lord Danzo. I don't even
A
exist.
tool indeed.
So no matter what you say or do, it's meaningless.
I think the music is partly responsible for like the pacing of these episodes as well, because everything's like
Why the book? What about the book? Why do you treat that picture book with such care?
they just stretch out the conversation as much as possible, and then the commercial break is just so abrupt. Yeah, why the book, Sai?
I could see it. The moment I handed back your picture book. It was the way you casually said thank you as you took it out of my hand. You were relieved to get it back. That book is the very thing that proves who you are.
I don't understand. Why does having this book prove my existence?
You can't bear to part with it because it means something to you. You're somebody's younger brother, and you don't want to forget that. Don't you understand, Sai? He was your family. The bond you shared with your older brother must be incredibly important to you. Losing that book means erasing that bond, and you don't want that to happen.
A bond we shared?
Sorry, Sai. We had a peek inside that book. Danzo gave you specialized training to make you suppress your emotions.
Specialized training?
I've seen it practice before. It was once used by the village hidden in the mist, aka Blood Mist Village, to numb one's feelings.
Village hidden in the mist? A mist village.
That's where Zabuza's from.
You know what else happened to Zabuza?
Means to you.
Long ago, in the village hidden in the mist, also known
The
as
reincorporation.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, they're bringing it all back.
I'm a ninja.
What graduation exam? What's the big deal anyway? We had graduation tests too.
You have to annihilate the other students to pass. This book was going to be a present for him. But right when I was about to finish drawing the final pages, my older brother, he succumbed to illness. Within the Foundation, there were many children from families torn apart by warfare. He and I instantly became inseparable. He even treated me like I was a real sibling. We weren't related by blood, but he often said nice things about my drawings. The picture I wanted to show him most of all was the final one. The final one in the centerfold. But then he died, and I forgot. I couldn't remember what I was going to draw.
I cannot stand people who walk slow. And Kabuto is just like...
Hey, what happened to your quick and pace? You were in a hurry a second ago.
Well, fuck.
expression. He's just like... Oh, they're outside.
I apologize, Sai, but I'll be leaving behind my clone to stand guard over you.
All right. The way I see it, we're right back at square one. The mission is to save Sasuke.
I wouldn't bother if I were you. It's just that... You see, I met Sasuke.
I keep meaning to say, like, the chanting and the music and everything, it's like, almost put me to sleep sometimes. I'm just like, God.
Goes,
Except for, like, when Sasuke was just there by himself all day.
it won't matter. Sasuke told me he doesn't care about you. That's the truth. According to Sakura, you look up to Sasuke as if he's your brother or something. So why then? Why risk your life for someone who doesn't want to be saved? Why would you? When no one is even ordering you to do so.
It's funny. There was a time when I really hated Sasuke's guts. Neither of us had families, but that didn't bring us any closer. I was always at the bottom of the class, and Sasuke was always on top. But when I look back, I gotta admit it was always fun being around the guy. I mean, after all, Sasuke's the person who accepted me more than anybody else. Sasuke is my best friend. It took a while, but now we have a special bond.
A bond.
But you'll still have to battle Orochimaru.
Don't you get it? It doesn't matter how strong my opponent is. If he tears off my arms, I'll just kick him dead. If he tears off my legs, I'll bite him dead. If he tears off my head, I'll stare him dead. If he gouges out my eyes, I'll curse him dead. Even if I get chopped into pieces, I'm gonna beat Orochimaru and take my friend Sasuke back once and for all!
Damn.
I love how he gives away that he'll do it every single time, and then it's just like, and if I get chopped into pieces, well, don't worry about it. I'll still beat him somehow. I'll think of it. What'd you think of this episode? The Sai stuff was pretty good.
The side stuff was pretty good. Once again, everything was drawn out with, like, them just staring at each other for, like, 20 minutes, and Kabuto, like, walking very slowly down the hallway, even though he's worried about Orochimaru being mad at him. But that's okay. We find out Sai's backstory, and, like, Sakura's just calling Sai out on, like, yeah, you say that you don't care, but, like, when I gave you this book, you were obviously thankful to have it back and really relieved nothing had happened to it. So why don't you tell us about that? And then he tells the backstory.
All the stuff with Zabuza as well.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting as well. That they brought that back in.
Mm-hmm. Like, fucking Danzo took inspiration. He sees, like, oh, Blood Mist Village, eh? That place with the nickname that's so terrifying and breeds people that are soulless killers and, you know, suppress their emotions.
That's what we need for our village.
I feel like they really got something right when they did that.
Yeah. So...
Goddamn third Hokage always being so nice and shit. Doesn't realize that being Blood Leaf Village is the best way to go.
Yeah. That's interesting. I kind of like that they reincorporated that in. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it turns out that wasn't his, like, real brother. It was just someone... And it's interesting because then when Naruto talks about his bond with Sasuke... After, like, just going through his whole backstory of, like, no, there's just this guy, we weren't actually brothers, but, like, we kind of became, like, brothers.
Because he'd forgotten.
Yeah, and then hearing it laid out like that for him, now he's, able to remember.
And he's at least curious, like the Sai of before wouldn't have asked Naruto, why are you doing this? Why do you care? Like, he wouldn't have been expecting an answer. Like, he was clearly like...
Yeah, instead of just trying to piss Naruto off. Yeah, there's definitely a bit of a difference there.
But that was, like, the entire episode. They walked in that room, at
and so
minute 0.
Yeah, and he basically just says, yeah, I was a traitor. It sucks that you guys found out my plan.
And then they left that room around 16 minutes in. It was.
I love when Kabuto just goes into the room.
And he's just like...
Kabuto's just like, man, I am horrible at my job today. It would have been even... It really sucks that they left the book there, because what if one of them, Yamato had just grabbed the folder of all the information there, then Kabuto wouldn't have even had that. They would have just been back to square one.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's kind of it.
And then, there was Naruto's speech where we already kind of talked about that, how he's just like, doesn't matter. Like, same shit as always.
Thing, yeah.
Friendship. I care about him.
Yeah.
The end. Pretty much the whole thing. It's more impactful than that, but it's the same problem with Naruto. I don't want to even go over it again. We've gone over it so many times, but it's just like, I feel bad. Okay, here's why I keep like bringing it up, even if it's just for a second. Because if this were any other show, we would have dropped it. If this were anything else but Naruto, we would have just been like, fuck this. If this is every episode. But the thing about Naruto is it's so long running that you kind of have to accept that not every episode is going to be a banger. Not every episode is going to be like this mind-blowing thing. You're in it for the long haul, because over time it builds you up for these crazy huge moments. That's what it's worth. But when you're slogging through all of this shit, even when interesting stuff's happening, we're learning stuff about Sai, we get some good like callbacks and stuff like that. It's still, like, if this were any other show, we would have been freaking out. If this were a seasonal show we were watching, we would be like, fuck this, dude. Like, what's the point?
Well, I feel like that's the benefit of going with something that's, like, pretty long running, but that's already finished.
Yeah.
Because then you, like...
You know it's going somewhere.
Yeah.
You know it's eventually going to get there, and, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I feel bad not mentioning it, but I also feel bad like bringing it up all the time. But I feel like in cases like this, and for the last few episodes where it's bad, like it's the and that's the thing, is like, I don't want to say it's bad, not because I'm afraid people get pissed off, but I'm like, it's not actually bad. Like, if you think about it, it's probably like when you guys remember watching it for the first time. When I remember watching it for the first time, I didn't remember all this shit. I remembered the beats that it hit. I didn't remember how much time it took me to get there. Because also, we're not skipping recaps, we're not skipping openings and endings, we're watching all the way till the end, so the episodes are not taking 16, 17 minutes to watch, they're taking a full 24 every single time, because of the whole uncut thing. So, it's partly us, but it's like, it's just worth mentioning, because I don't want to give Naruto special treatment, is all. But you kind of have to realize it. Anyway, see you guys, unless there's anything more.
No, that's it.
Okay, we'll see you guys in the next one. Yeah, I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye.